Food security threatened as flood destroyed farms. Governor Bello Matoale asked opposition to mind their language or face litigation. President Buhari approves release of food items from reserve. On business, CBN begins clearing of $2 billion forex backlog. And on the international scene, Ulster Mali President Keita hospitalized. Welcome to Svtv News. I am Musa Joy Unyoza. Fear of food crisis is heightening in Nigeria following massive floods that are ravaging crop farms in many parts of the country. Many farmlands were reportedly destroyed by flood in Kebbi, Zamfara, Niger, Rivers, Cross Rivers, Sokoto, Bauchi, and some parts of Kwara State. Rice and maize farmlands were most affected, and farmers fear this could further hike the prices of the staple food in the country. A market survey showed that prices of food items are already going up in the market. In Kano, a 100 kg of maize now costs 20,000 naira, 22,000 naira in Benue State, 24,000 naira in Abuja, and as high as 25,000 naira in Lagos State. The same size of maize sold between 9,000 naira and 11,000 last year across the country. Governor Bello Matoale Marado of Zamfara State on Tuesday announced the release of 100 million naira as take-off grant for the state contributory healthcare management agency. The governor made the announcement while inaugurating the new office complex of the agency in Gusau, the state capital. He explained the importance of the health insurance scheme, noting that it will support most families and individuals currently unable to foot their medical bills. Governor Matoale gave the assurance that the government took decisive action to set up the agency to give all citizens access to affordable health care services in the state. He said that the scheme was open to all the residents of Zamfara, irrespective of their status. Zamfara State Wing of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has unanimously produced a candidate to contest the forthcoming Bakura by-election into the State House of Assembly in person of Alhaji Bello Dakande Gamji. Our correspondent reports that the process was concluded through a consensus process as two of the aspirants, Alhaji Saidu Dambala Erkofoji and Alhaji Lawali Isa Brinin Chudu, stepped down for Alhaji Bello Dakande and pledged their total support for the former commissioner. They said they withdrew from the race considering the deepening crisis rocking the party at federal and state levels, which they observe if care is not taken, it will give the ruling PDP some chances of victory. Addressing newsmen at the party secretariat in Gusau, the state capital, the leader of the committee from the national secretariat of the party, Alhaji Umar Lawan, explained that his committee made various consultations before the process, saying that even though there was tension, but the process was concluded without any hitch. Alhaji Lawan advised the three contestants to abide by their gentleman agreement, as he said they were given the chance to have a closed-door meeting to resolve their differences and come up with one candidate, and noted with satisfaction that they came up with Alhaji Bello Dakande Gamji. However, the committee leader said that 4 aspirants initially bought their expression forms, stressing that the candidate of Senator Kabir Garoba Marafa was disqualified because the faction flouted the directives from the national headquarters of the party. Alhaji Lawa urged all the supporters of the party to rally around Alhaji Bello Dakande Gamji so as to keep the APC flag flying. In his acceptance speech, Alhaji Bello Gamji commended the committee for a job well done and thanked his co-contestant who gave him the chance to be the candidate of the All Progressives Congress in the by-election. He said he has been working closely with the grassroots and knows how well to deal with the locals because he is very conversant with the grassroots politics. It could be recalled that Alhaji Bello Dakande Gamji was a three-time chairman of Bakura Local Government Council and immediate past commissioner for local government and chieftaincy affairs in Zamfara State. Governor Bello Matawalle Marado of Zamfara State has sent a strong warning to the opposition to be mindful of their utterances or go to jail. Addressing thousands of APC supporters who defected to the ruling People's Democratic Party in the state in Gusau West State, Governor Matawalle said he would arrest and prosecute any politician who defamed or assassinated his character. The governor said if you know that you cannot defend what you said, you better stop defaming other people's character, because he will order the arrest of whoever is caught doing that, and he will go to jail. He stated that some politicians had resorted to the use of hate speech and defamation of character for political gains because they had lost relevance. The governor warned such politicians to keep off from the state or face the wrath of the law. The Nigerian Governors Forum, NGF, yesterday deliberated on issues affecting the country, especially the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The NGF chairman and Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi provided an update on the pandemic. He said disbursement of the Basic Health Care Provision Fund facility to eligible states have been approved by the Ministry of Health to safeguard government intervention in primary health care service delivery during the pandemic. The forum received a Rotary International Polio Certification Award for its role in eradicating polio in Nigeria. The family of Rilwanu Lukman, former petroleum minister, has demanded an apology from Abubakar Malami, Attorney General of the Federation, over his claim that the late minister approved the Process and Industrial Development Limit deal. In his witness statement filed at a court in the UK, Malami alleged that Lukman, who died in 2014, directed Taufik Tijani, his aide, to deliberately overlook P&ID's shortcomings and push the deal through. Malami said Tijani told the EFCC that Lukman instructed him to facilitate the contract with P&ID, despite the fact that the company had no record in the oil and gas sector. The AGF said Lukman broke the law by signing the P&ID agreement because Soidin Ajumogobia, the former Minister of State in the Petroleum Ministry, was responsible for gas deals. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, on Wednesday said the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, has ordered the release of food items from strategic reserve as part of effort to tackle high cost of food in the country. Mr. Garba Shehu disclosed this in a statement titled How President Buhari is Tackling Food Inflation in the Country. He said the President has just approved the release of food items from the strategic reserve, including 30,000 tons of maize to animal feeds producers to ease the high cost of poultry production. Director General National Youth Service Corps Brigadier General Ibrahim Shaibu has said the scheme would prosecute those who attempted to illegally participate in its program and had participated in the past through fraudulent means when discovered. The NYSC, the DJ noted, would not entertain any request for leniency by those who deliberately participated illegally in its program and are seeking restitution for their past fraudulent acts. According to him, the NYSC would allow the law to take its course on such matters through the prosecution of such persons and organizations who aided and abetted them. The DG stated that the management of the NYSC has intensified effort at ensuring that any sort of infringement on the provisions of its enabling laws is prevented by enforcing its general operational guidelines. Oba of Benin, Oba Iware II, has appealed to politicians involved in the forthcoming election in Edo State to sheath their sword and not turn the state to a laughingstock. The monarch also appealed to the politicians to end the violence which has been recurrent in the state in the past few weeks. The Oba, who made the appeal in a peace meeting held with top politicians, lamented that Edo State politics has been in the news recently for the wrong reasons. The monarch, who expressed sadness over the recent happenings in the state, appealed to politicians to take a leaf from 2015 general election, where former President Goodluck Jonathan congratulated the winner, President Muhammadu Buhari, thereby calming the tension that was on. The Petroleum Products Marketing Company has increased the price of petrol from 138.62 naira per liter to 151.56 naira per liter. In a statement by the DO Abalaka of the PPMC stated that a new product price adjustment have been effected on their payment platform. To this end, the price of premium motor spirit is now 151 naira 56 kobo per liter. He added that the new pump price takes effect from September 2nd, 2020. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back on Business. Aguirre has more detail.
Welcome to Standard Voice Business Update. In line with its earlier promise to foreign petroleum investors, the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has started the sale of foreign exchange to banks to clear the backlog of demand in the market, which currently stands at $2 billion. These days gathered that the Apex Bank is utilizing the strategy of a combination of spot and 150-day forward sales to clear the accumulated FS demand. The exercise, which commenced on Monday, has seen the bank selling $25 million daily and will continue weekly until the backlog is cleared, a source told this day. As it is now, all the foreign portfolio investors are relaxed because of the intervention by the Apex Bank. Still on business, regulatory hammer on Tuesday fell on 6 quoted firms following suspension by the Nigeria Stock Exchange for their inability to file corporate accounts as required. The suspended companies are FTN Coca Processors PLC, Midview Airline PLC, Niger Insurance PLC, RT Broscure Nigeria PLC, Union Disco Salt PLC, and Capital Oil PLC. The NSE suspended trading on the shares of the company with effect from Tuesday, September 1st, over the failure to file their audited financial statements for the year ended December 31st, 2019. Regulatory rules at the local pools require all quoted companies to submit their annual audited report and financial statements not later than 90 days after the end of the financial year. And that's on Standard Voice Business Update. I'm Aguirre.
And on the international scene, former Malian President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta, who has not been seen in public since being overthrown on August 18th, has been hospitalized. Keïta, 75, was admitted to a private clinic in the capital Bamako on Tuesday evening and will go home in the afternoon, one of his aides told AFP. The checkup had been scheduled for last month, but the former president had not gone to the appointment, the source said. A healthcare worker confirming this account said the president has arrived for a routine checkup that was pending for some time. Everything is fine and he is expected to leave the hospital soon. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Food security threatened as flood destroyed farms. Governor Bello Matoale asks opposition to mind their language or face litigation. President Buhari approves release of food items from reserve. On business, CBN begins clearing of $2 billion forex backlog. And on the international scene, ousted Mali President Keïta hospitalized. That's the news on behalf of the production crew and head of News and Current Affairs Department, Alhaji Ibrahim Garobachino. I still remain Musa Joy Onyoda. Stay tuned.